Hey everyone, and welcome back to Aesthetic Nest channel. If you've ever looked around your space and felt that itch for change, that desire for a home that feels more you, more put together, more expensive, but the thought of a full renovation makes your wallet tremble, then this video is exactly what you need. We're not talking about knocking down walls or ordering custom Italian furniture. Today, we're diving deep into the world of instant transformations. This is your guide to the instant home glow. These are the small changes, the details that often get overlooked, that collectively whisper good taste rather than scream, I spent a fortune. They're about working smarter, not harder, and understanding the why behind what makes a space feel elevated. So whether you're in a rental where you can't make permanent changes, you're on a tight budget, or you just crave a refresh without the chaos, I've got you covered. We're going to break this down into 7 key sections, each focusing on a different element of your home. I'll explain not just what to do, but why it works from a design perspective, giving you the tools to become your own best designer. Make sure you're comfortable and maybe have a notepad ready, because we're about to unlock the secrets to a high-impact, low-cost home transformation. Let's get started. Segment 1. The power of paint and paper beyond the walls. Alright, let's start with arguably the most transformative tool in our toolbox, paint. But we're not just talking about slapping another coat of grey on your walls, though that can work wonders. I want you to think beyond the walls. The first secret to an expensive-looking home is intentional color application in unexpected places. This creates depth, character, and a custom feel that off-the-rack spaces simply lack. Think about your dated wooden furniture, that dark, heavy side table from the 90s. A few coats of a warm, creamy white or a soft, earthy sage green can instantly modernize it and make it look like a curated antique rather than a hand-me-down. The key here is preparation, sanding properly and using a good primer, and choosing a paint with a finish that suits the piece. For most furniture, a satin or eggshell finish is perfect. It's durable and has a soft sheen that reads as quality. This approach applies to kitchen cabinets too. If a full kitchen reno isn't in the cards, painting your cabinet boxes a deep, moody color and swapping the hardware can make it look like an entirely new room for a fraction of the cost. Now, let's talk about the fifth wall, your ceiling. We so often ignore it, leaving it a stark, flat white. But painting your ceiling a shade or two lighter than your walls can make the room feel taller and airier. For a more daring and incredibly luxurious effect, consider a deep, moody color on the ceiling in a room with ample natural light. A rich navy or a charcoal gray in a bedroom or study creates a cocoon-like, intimate atmosphere that feels incredibly deliberate and high-end. It draws the eye up and makes the space feel complete and cohesive. And we absolutely cannot forget about wallpaper. I know, your grandmother's florals might be giving you flashbacks. But wallpaper in 2025 is a different beast. We're using it in small, powerful doses. The inside of a bookshelf or a built-in niche becomes a moment of surprise and art. A powder room, often the smallest room in the house, is the perfect place to go bold with a dramatic pattern or texture. Grass cloth, a small-scale geometric, or an artistic mural. This concept of accent areas is a huge trend because it delivers maximum visual impact with a manageable amount of material and effort. It signals that every single inch of your home has been considered. Segment 2. The hardware hustle jewelry for your home. If paint is the foundation of a globe, then hardware is the jewelry. It's the detail that you interact with every single day, and outdated, flimsy hardware can instantly cheapen an otherwise lovely space. Swapping out your hardware is one of the easiest, most rental-friendly upgrades you can make, and the ROI on aesthetics is enormous. Think about it. A beautiful piece of clothing is elevated by the right necklace or cufflinks. Your home is no different. Let's start in the kitchen and bathroom. Those shiny brass handles from 2005 or the basic builder-grade knobs have got to go. The current trend is towards finishes that feel organic and lived in. Think unlacquered brass, which develops a beautiful patina over time. Matte black for a modern, graphic punch, or brushed nickel and aged bronze for a timeless feel. Consistency is key here. Try to keep all your visible hardware in the same finish family throughout a space to create a cohesive look. And don't be afraid to mix shapes. Using a combination of knobs and pulls can add a layer of complexity that feels very custom designed. But the hardware hustle doesn't stop at cabinets. Let's talk about doors. That hollow core door with a cheap plastic lever, replacing it with a solid, substantial feeling knob in a quality finish changes the entire experience of entering a room. The weight, the sound, the feel, it all contributes to a perception of quality. It's a small touch that has a disproportionate effect on your daily life and the overall feel of your home. And finally, the most overlooked hardware of all, your light switches and outlet covers. Those beige plastic rectangles are visual pollution. Switching them out for clean, screwless plates in a white or matte black finish instantly makes your walls look more polished. For a truly next-level touch, consider upgrading to smart switches or elegant dimmer controls. It's a tiny change that cleans up the visual clutter in a room more than you might think. It's these microscopic, attention-to-detail moments that, when added together, create a seamless and sophisticated environment. Segment 3. Lighting Logistics, Sculpting with Light. Lighting is everything. It is the single most important factor in how a room feels, yet it's so often done wrong. Harsh, cold, overhead lighting is the arch nemesis of a cozy, expensive-feeling home. It flattens everything, creates unflattering shadows, and feels clinical. The goal of luxury lighting is to sculpt a space, to create pools of warm light that make a room feel inviting, dynamic, and layered. This is where we move from simply illuminating a room to designing with light. The first rule is to banish the big light. Okay, not banish entirely, but you should almost never rely on it as your sole source of light, especially in the evenings. Instead, we embrace a layered lighting plan. This consists of 3 layers: ambient general light, task light for specific activities, and accent light to highlight features. For most living spaces, this means having multiple light sources at different heights. Think floor lamps arching over a seating area, table lamps on sideboards and consoles, and sconces flanking a bed or mirror. This creates a beautiful, balanced glow with depth and dimension. Next, let's talk about the vessels themselves, your lamps and shades. A cheap, wobbly lamp with a thin, see-through shade will never feel luxurious. Invest in lamps with some weight and substance, made from materials like ceramic, stone, or solid metal. Then, turn your attention to the shade. This is a secret weapon. Replacing a cheap white shade with a black-lined textured linen or a classic pleated paper shade transforms the quality of the light it emits. A black-lined shade directs the light upward and downward, preventing that harsh glare and creating a more intimate, gallery-like feel. And we cannot forget the soul of the lamp, the bulb. The color temperature of your bulbs is critical. You want to avoid anything that says daylight or has a Kelvin rating over 3000 K. Those emit a cold, bluish light. Instead, look for warm, white or soft white bulbs. This is the warm, golden, flattering glow that mimics sunset and makes everything and everyone look better. For even more control, consider smart bulbs that allow you to adjust the color temperature and intensity throughout the day. This level of control over your environment is the ultimate luxury. Segment 4. Textile TLC. The layer of comfort. What separates a house from a home? It's the feeling of comfort, of being able to sink in and relax. And nothing creates that feeling more than textiles. They are the soft, tactile layer that adds warmth, sound absorption, and visual interest. But the difference between a thrown-together look and a designed one lies in the choice, quality, and arrangement of these textiles. It's about moving from random pieces to a cohesive, textured story. Let's start with the biggest textile in most rooms, the curtains. And here's the #1 rule for making them look expensive: hang them high and wide. Your curtain rod should be placed much closer to the ceiling than the top of the window, and it should extend well beyond the window frame on either side. This tricks the eye into thinking the window is larger and grander than it is. When open, the curtains frame the window perfectly. When closed, they cover the wall, not just the glass. As for the fabric, avoid shiny synthetics and thin cottons. Opt for heavier flowy materials like linen, velvet, or a good quality cotton blend. They hang better and feel more substantial. Next, the bed. A made bed is the anchor of a bedroom, and a well-styled one is an instant globe. The secret is layers. Start with a good foundation, a fitted sheet and a flat sheet. Then add a duvet with a cover. Instead of just laying it flat, fold it down about halfway. This adds a layer at the foot of the bed. Then add sleeping pillows, then smaller decorative pillows, euros, standards, etc. And finish with a lumbar or accent pillow in a different texture or pattern. Finally, drape a throw blanket casually across the foot of the bed. This creates a hotel-level bed that feels inviting and deeply luxurious. And for the living room, it's all about the pillows and throws on your sofa. The key is variation in scale, texture, and pattern, but within a cohesive color story. Don't just buy a matching set of 3 identical pillows. Combine a large, solid lumbar pillow with a smaller, patterned square pillow and a textured bolster. Mix a chunky knit throw with a smooth velvet pillow. This creates a collected, evolved over time look that is far more interesting and designerly than anything that comes in a plastic bag from a big box store. It shows a considered eye for detail. Segment 5. The art of styling, curated, not cluttered. A common misconception is that a beautiful home is a full home. Actually, the opposite is often true. An expensive-looking home is a curated home. It's about thoughtful editing and intentional placement. Clutter is the enemy of calm and sophistication. Styling is the art of arranging your objects, books, art, collected treasures, in a way that tells a story and creates visual harmony. It's about creating moments of interest for the eye to land on. Let's take a bookshelf, for example. The goal is not to just fill it with books. The goal is to create a composition. Start by editing. Remove anything that doesn't bring you joy or fit the aesthetic you're going for. Then, arrange your books in a few different ways, some stacked vertically, some stacked horizontally to act as bookends or platforms for objects. Leave some breathing room. Negative space is just as important as the objects themselves. This creates a gallery-like feel. The same principles apply to your surfaces: coffee tables, console tables, nightstands. Avoid letting them become dumping grounds. Instead, create intentional vignettes. A vignette is a small, pleasing grouping of objects. A classic formula is the triangle. Something tall, a lamp or a vase with branches. Something mid-height, a stack of books. And something organic or textural, a small bowl, a ceramic piece, a candle. This creates balance and scale. Remember to vary the shapes and materials: round, square, ceramic, wood, metal, to keep it interesting. And finally, art. The way you hang your art is crucial. A common mistake is hanging art too high. The center of the piece or grouping should be at eye level, which is generally around 57 to 60 inches from the floor. For a gallery wall, plan it out on the floor first. Use paper templates to map it out on the wall before you put a single nail in. Mix frame styles and art sizes, but keep a common thread, like a consistent color palette or theme, to tie it all together. Art should feel personal, not just generic hotel decor. It's these personal, curated touches that make a space truly feel like a home. Segment 6. Nature's Touch, the unbeatable accessory. No matter how beautifully designed a space is, it can still feel sterile and lifeless without a connection to the natural world. Incorporating organic elements is the fastest way to add color, texture, and, most importantly, life to a room. It softens hard edges, improves air quality, and creates a sense of well-being. And best of all, it's often free or very low cost. Nature is the ultimate luxury accessory. The most obvious way to do this is with houseplants. But it's not about having a jungle unless you want one. It's about choosing the right plant for the right place and presenting it well. A large statement floor plant, like a fiddle leaf fig or a bird of paradise, can anchor a corner of a room. A trailing pothos or philodendron on a high shelf adds a soft, cascading element. The pot is just as important as the plant. Choose a pot with an interesting texture or color that complements your decor, not a basic plastic nursery pot. This elevates the plant from just being a plant to being a piece of living sculpture. For those without a green thumb, fear not. Fresh-cut flowers and branches are your best friend. You don't need a massive, expensive bouquet. Often, a single stem of something dramatic, a monstera leaf, a flowering branch from your yard, a few stalks of eucalyptus, placed in a beautiful, simple vase has more impact than a crowded bunch. It's minimalist and elegant. Forage for interesting branches, dried grasses, or even interesting seed pods on a walk. This brings the changing seasons indoors and costs nothing. And let's not forget other natural materials. A wooden bowl filled with real fruit on the kitchen counter is both beautiful and functional. A stack of books with a woven seagrass box for remotes. A sheepskin throw draped over a chair. A stone coaster. A ceramic vase made from natural clay. These elements bring in a variety of textures that man-made materials can't replicate. They ground the design, connect the interior to the exterior, and create a sense of authenticity and timelessness that is the hallmark of truly great design. Segment 7. The clarity of clutter-free, embracing negative space. We've touched on this throughout, but it deserves its own segment because it is the foundation upon which all other globs are built. Clarity, an expensive, peaceful home is a tidy home. Not sterile, not museum-like, but free of visual clutter and chaos. This is about embracing the power of negative space, the empty areas around objects that allow them to breathe and be appreciated. It's the feeling of calm that comes from knowing where everything is. This starts with smart, hidden storage. The goal is to have a place for everything, especially the daily clutter. This means baskets and bins are your allies. A large, beautiful, woven basket next to the sofa can hold throws. Smaller ones on shelves can hold tech accessories or toys. In the entryway, have a dedicated spot for keys, mail, and shoes. A tray for shoes. A small bowl for keys. This takes 30 seconds a day and prevents the dreaded drop zone from forming. It's about creating systems that are easy to maintain. Then tackle your hidden spaces, the pantry, the closets, the cabinets under the sink. Using uniform containers for dry goods, oats, pasta, flour instantly makes a pantry look like a high-end grocery store. It reduces visual noise and creates order. This might feel like a behind-the-scenes change, but the psychological impact is profound. Knowing your space is organized from the inside out reduces daily stress and makes your home a true sanctuary. It's a glow-up for your mind as much as for your space. Finally, make editing a regular habit. We accumulate things constantly. Every season, take a little time to do a purge. Do you love it? Do you use it? Does it fit your current style? If not, thank it for its service and let it go. A clutter-free home isn't empty. It's filled only with the things that are useful and bring you joy. This intentionality is the highest form of luxury. It creates room, physically and mentally, for you to breathe, relax, and appreciate the beautiful, curated space you've created. And there you have it. 7 powerful, yet completely achievable, segments to give your home that instant glop. From the jewelry of new hardware to the soul of layered lighting, the comfort of textiles, the art of styling, the life of nature, and the foundation of clarity, each of these small changes works together to create a massive impact. Remember, design is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about creating a home that feels authentically you, a space that supports your life and brings you joy. You don't have to do everything at once. Pick one segment that resonated with you this week and start there. Maybe swap out those light switch covers or hang your curtains a little higher. Small steps lead to big transformations. If this video inspired you, I would be so grateful if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribed to the channel for more design insights. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these tips are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. If you are looking for inspirational videos about home, we will be showing them every 2 days, so don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, your dream home isn't in a magazine, it's waiting for you to create it, one small detail at a time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.